Hey guys, and welcome back to Unhinged but Healthy. And here I am in all my glory in my Tate t-shirt and my PJ bottoms. Back in the UK, it's 11 a.m. I'm a tired girl. I've been home for a week now. So that's been fun. But yes, anyway, let's get straight to the point. So if you're watching on YouTube, I would be grateful if you could like, subscribe and comment if it's nice, and if you are listening, I'll be grateful if you could follow and rate the show, so thank you very much. But anyways, so I've got a little wired headphone action going on. I hope you can hear me and I hope this audio is okay, but I just figured because I'm out in the garden, because I'm trying to make the most of the sun, I would use these, but I have broken this one because, sorry, the audio is going to go kaput for a sec, but I love to do this. I just hit myself in the mouth with it. I love to do that. It's just so fun to me, and that's how I broke my last pair, and that's how I broke this pair, and yeah, so that's a shame. But they were actually $9, so £4.50, so it's really not the end of the world. But yes, anyways, yeah, I wanted to make the most of the sun, and I feel like the audio cannot be the best on this when you're outside. I'm actually struggling to see the screen, so if you're watching, I'm just kind of like squinting and looking elsewhere. Yeah, that's why I could have put my sunglasses on. I feel like that would have made this fit, but yeah, it's actually really warm right now. But anyways, today I am going to be speaking about slipping back into old mindsets, because I feel like that's exactly where I am right now, and yeah, it's not great. Like, I don't know, I feel like all of last year I worked really fucking hard to get to a good place mentally, and like, not saying that I was like in the depths of despair, like I was not, but like my baseline is kind of like, and it's sad to say, but my baseline and what I always go back to when I'm triggered is like, no one likes me, no one wants to be around me, like I annoy people, like people hate me, they don't want to see me do well, like I need to take up as little space as possible, you know. That is kind of like my baseline, and that is because, unfortunately, because of some of the people that I was around when I was growing up, you know, that's how I was made to feel. That's, I don't know, and I feel like going to Australia did kind of show me like, I don't want to get upset, lol. Yeah, it did kind of show me like that's not true. A lot of it is in my head. But I think, lol, I think that's the worst part about it, because it's like I'm in my head, you know. I'm in there, I live in there, and yeah, it's just been awfully difficult. Like, I genuinely feel like, oh god, crying on the internet again. Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm back at square one, and like kind of worse too. And it's really hard. Like, I don't want to do anything. Sorry, lol. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to spend time with anyone. I'm not enjoying anything. Like, it's really actually difficult. And it's literally like a constant like mental battle in my head at the moment. Like, even things that I love, like, I don't know, like, I feel, I don't know, like, an example of this is like, last year I worked really hard on my relationship with the gym and food and my body image, and I feel like I got to a really good place with it, but then I kind of thought is this actually, it wasn't unhealthy by any means, but I was just exhausted by tracking every single calorie and gram of protein and fibre that went into my body. Like, it didn't feel like, it just kind of felt like a chore in the end. And yeah, so I was like, do you know what, like, I want to try and stop tracking my food. And I did this at a point where I felt really confident in myself, and I did gain a little bit of weight naturally. I gained a little bit of weight that is so fine and that is so natural. And at the time, in my head, especially because it was around Christmas time, I was a bit like, oh my god, like, this is awful. And it was really hard to see my body change. And then shortly after, I went to Australia, where I couldn't really track. I had no way to weigh my food. I was buying different things. I found it really difficult to find foods that like didn't have preservatives in. Like at home, like I would always check the ingredients list, and that's just kind of a thing of like looking after my gut health, you know, like that's not anything to do with like, oh god, I can't eat that because it's got like this many carbs in it. Like, no, like I don't really care, but like it's more the fact of like, I don't know, like you see people say online, like if you can't pronounce it, don't put it into your body, you know. And it was just more of like a Whole Foods kind of thing, and I really struggled over there to find that sort of thing. Again, maybe it was the places I was looking, I don't know. But yeah, so, you know, not only was I going through like the side effects of like flying, like retaining water from that, bloating from that, like the anxiety of it all, because it was a very anxiety inducing thing to do, flying halfway across the world and just kind of like not having anywhere to obviously I stayed in a hostel, but like not having anywhere to stay. Like I'd never stayed in a hostel before. I'd never stay in a hostel again if I don't have to. Yeah, like not having a place to live that was mine, like not knowing if I'd be able to find a job, like, you know, like that was a very anxiety inducing thing to do. And I do lean more towards the anxious side of things. If you've been listening for a while, you will know that. But yeah, so like, you know, the bloating from like all the anxiety that I was feeling constantly, like, you know, and then my body also reacting to the fact that I was no longer eating whole foods, and like, you know, I was also eating when I'd usually be sleeping, and like, you know, like just my body going through all of that. So not only was I watching my body change through the effects of that, I was still not tracking my food, and I was trying new foods, and like I feel like I did gain quite a bit of weight over there, and like that's really difficult to see in like the way that my clothes fit, and like the way that things used to look on me this time last year and how they look on me now. But then like I've also lost my period, so it's like I can't just jump into a calorie deficit like I usually would to, I don't want to say fix, because there's nothing wrong with gaining weight. It's just the way that my brain is wired and the way that my brain works. And I feel like a lot of girls' brains work these days because we are conditioned to believe that being smaller is equal to being worthy and more beautiful, which is just so fucked in itself. But I was also brought up where my weight was commented on a lot in a negative way, so like that's just 10 times more difficult. And yeah, it's just really hard and really mentally challenging, when, you know, I don't hate the way that I look right now, I really don't, but it's just like, oh, but if I was smaller, like, you know, I like the way I look when I'm smaller. And it's just like, yeah, but I can't jump into that calorie deficit, and I can't change my body in the way that I usually would. And because if I do, like, that could potentially be really damaging to my body and to my cycle, and that could be a long-term effect, and that's not something that I want to risk, you know. So that's just like really difficult trying to, oh my god, I'm actually a mess, lol. Yeah, it's really difficult trying to push through the thoughts of like, you shouldn't eat this, like, oh my god, like I've eaten chocolate, or like just constantly like checking myself in the mirror and just being like, I hate myself, like I don't want to hate myself, like it's horrible, it's actually horrible, and it's really difficult. Yeah, I just feel like I took a step forward last year and I've just been pushed back a million times, and I'm just like, this isn't fair. Why do I have to do it all again when I've already worked so hard to get there in the first place, you know? And it's just like, because I don't, lol, I hope that was a tear, not snot. Yeah, and I think it's just really that was so gross. Yeah, and I think I literally can't edit videos, so it's just like, it is what it is. But yeah, and it's just really difficult because when I don't feel confident in myself, like I don't feel confident in anything, and I think that's the really difficult part, like, and I think that's what's upsetting me the most, is that like this is where my brain resets to when I'm triggered, and it's like, I don't know, like I worked really hard on my anxiety last year as well, because like I've said 1,000,001 times, like I am a very very anxious person, and that's really tough. I find it very hard to trust the process. I find it very hard to like trust people, and again, like I do feel like going to Australia did show me that a lot of this stuff is in my head, but it's just so hard to challenge, you know. And like I think it's just really disheartening that something I saved so long for and something that I look forward to for so long kind of like triggered me into a way where like over there, like I literally couldn't function. Like I couldn't function. I was so anxious, like towards the end. I couldn't do it anymore. Like physically, like I genuinely felt frozen and I was exhausted, and like yeah, so I did feel towards the end like I tried, and 3 months doesn't seem that long, but to be in that state, like I just couldn't do it anymore, and I did kind of feel like the only place where I could, especially with everything going on right now, like in the world, and like, you know, like access back home and stuff like that, like I dropped a bomb on flights. Like I dropped a bomb on flights. Like that's how much I wanted to come home, you know, and I just kind of felt like this was the only place where I could come to kind of like handle all of this, and just realise that that wasn't for me, and like it's good because the what if is gone, and like it's a beautiful place, and like I'd love to go back to see more of it, just not to like try and settle there. And it's like, I think I kind of feel yeah, I kind of feel a bit like a failure, and then really I'm putting the judgment on myself, but I feel like everyone else is putting that judgment on me too, and I know that's not true, but it's just really difficult. Yeah, it's just really hard, and my anxiety got really bad over that, like really bad. Like it's not been that bad in like a really long time, and it's really bad now too. Really bad. Like, I don't know, like I literally wake up with a pit in my stomach every day. I have really bad like heart palpitations, like I literally feel like someone is squeezing my heart. Like I've never ever had that before. Like my heart's just like beating really fast. And it's really hard because all the tools that I would usually use just aren't really working. And it's like I don't want to oh shit, lol. I don't want to reply to anyone, like, and I've never ever been that person, do you know what I mean? Like I've never been that person. Like I'm really good on my phone, I'm really good at replying. I'm very much like, because I'm anxious, it means I really hope I'm not snotty right now, I can't even see myself. You know, it means that I get anxious if I actually leave people undelivered, even though I know no one is like thinking of me as much as I think. Like I get anxious to leave people undelivered because I'm like, oh my god, like they'll hate me. Whereas at this point I'm like, no one wants to speak to me, like everyone hates me. Like there's only a few people that I will actually reply to, and it's like, why is my brain doing this to me? And it's again a really hard place to be. And I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm just really gutted because I'm like, I tried so hard to build myself up last year and I did it, and I felt like I had a really good base to go and do this because I was feeling confident, and I feel like it's all just kind of been ripped away from me, and now I have to build from an even worse place than last year, and it's just really tough. And I think obviously I've like cried a lot in the last like 17 minutes, but yeah, I think it's just really difficult. It set me back in just in like meeting people, in starting new things, like in my confidence levels, like yeah, and that's really difficult. And yeah, I will tell you to skip to this point if you don't care about all the pity party or, but yeah, I think it's just difficult because, and I'm going to talk more about this in my next episode, I think, is like when you don't want to do anything is when you most need to do it. And I'm not telling you to like push through like physical pain or like exhaustion, like that's not what I'm telling you to do, but it's like when you get into these states of like, I could literally, like, I am not someone to wake up in the morning and just want to lie in bed, like, and I know this sounds so stupid, but like when I get to that point where I'm like, I can't be asked to get up and out of bed, because what's the point? Like, that's when I know with me that things are really bad, because I'm not that person. I've never been that person, not since I was like a teenager, you know. So it's like when you feel that way is when you most have to like just push through it, if you know what I mean. So it's just like stage fright. Yeah, it's just like, you know, when you don't want to go to the gym is when you need to go to the gym, or like when you don't want to go to the class is like when you need to go to the class, and just kind of like push through that. And even if it's just a light workout, like I went to the gym like 2 days ago and I got there and I was like, do you know what, like I really just don't have the energy to do this, but instead of leaving I just stayed there. And oh my god, I keep hitting this laptop off my lap. Yeah, like just stay there, just do the workout even if it's light. And like my brain was saying to me like, there's no point in doing this, like you're not going to lose any weight from this, you're not going to make any progress from this. And it's like, do you know what, like it literally doesn't matter. Like I'm moving my body, I'm releasing the endorphins, the happy chemicals, you know. And it's like when I don't want to go to the class and I'm just like, I don't want to be around people, like, and I feel like everyone's like staring at me and like being like, oh my god, like what is this girl doing? Like no one's looking at me, everyone's there focusing on themselves, you know. And And it's just like, I'm lucky to like go to a place where it is such a nice environment, and I get there and I don't feel that way anymore. But it's like, I know that in a gym it can be quite intimidating. I felt like it in Australia when I was going to classes, and I just felt like all these women are just looking at me like, what the fuck, like, you know. And I was just like, do you know, like, I'm just gonna go, I'm just gonna move my body, like, even if I still don't feel great after, at least I've done it, even, you know, like, just done all that I can. And it's like the same with taking care of yourself. Like, when you don't want to go for the walk, go for the walk, you know. Like, I'm at a point at the moment, like, I love reading, I love music, like, you know, like, and I don't particularly want to do those things at the moment. But it's just like, if I'm, oh my god, I have such a snotty nose. If I'm like going on, what was I going to say? Going on a walk, and I'm like, I don't particularly want to listen to music, like, that's fine, just don't. Like, even if you want to put headphones on anyway, in case you run into anyone, you know, like, you just don't have to. Like, just listen to the birds, just like listen to like the nature, just things like that. And it's like pushing yourself to spend time with like your comfort friends, and like just realizing that like being pushed out of your comfort zone, even if that is meeting one of your friends for a coffee, or like whether that is something as small as going for a walk. And I don't want to minimize it, like, you know, it can seem really big when you feel this way, but it's like just getting yourself out and doing those things. And I always tell myself, like, I will always feel better after. Like, nothing is going to be solved by me lying in my bed scrolling on TikTok, nothing. And it's like, I notice, like, it's a bit different at the moment. Like, I've just come back, I have a lot of free time, you know, like, I'm still waiting to start work properly and stuff like that. And I notice, like, when I feel this way, I reach for my phone more, because like I do feel uncomfortable, and I do have uncomfortable like sensations in my body. And it's like, I'm just kind of trying to ignore it by picking up the phone instead, you know, and just kind of like speaking to people, and like scrolling on apps, and like going on Hinge, you know, just like stuff like that. Like, and then in that moment I kind of just like catch myself and I'm like, no, like, put the phone down, because the more you avoid it, the stronger it's going to get and the longer it's going to last. Whereas if I just sit with that feeling right now and just kind of like relax and like release it and just breathe, and then it does feel smaller, and it doesn't feel as big or as scary as it did when it first came up, you know. So, you know, it's just like, when you do go back into these old mindsets, I do feel like it's just really important to kind of like catch yourself and just not give up. Like, when you feel like that is when you need to push through it, if you get what I mean. Like, it's never going to be easy, but it's like, it's also not gonna last forever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, it's really hard. Like, right now I feel like this is never ending. Like, I feel like this is gonna be my life forever, and I'm like being so dramatic. I'm like, oh my god, I've ruined my life, like, you know. And I feel like I can't really talk to anyone about it because it feels so dramatic, and I don't want anyone to actually tell me it's dramatic, like, you know. But I feel like it's just a thing of being kind to yourself. And I feel like, because last year, like, I did get to that good point, it's like, I know I'm a good person, like, I know I can take care of myself, and I know I deserve that. It's just right now my brain's gone back to its default settings of saying, like, I don't deserve anything. I don't deserve anything good. Like, why would anyone like me? Why would anyone want to spend time with me? Like, I do feel like I've gone back into my shell massively, and like, that really upsets me, because I know the person that I can be, and I know that she's still in there. But yeah, it's just a case of like, I'm very lucky to know that that person is in there, and that I am worthy of being taken care of by myself. Like, I would never let myself get to a state of like, I don't know how to explain it, like a state of like that I would regret getting into, you know, because I know how to like stop it before it gets there, whereas like there used to be a point where I didn't know how to do that, and it's like I know that I am worthy of that deep down. Like deep down I know all of these positive things, and I know everything's going to work out, and I know I'm not going to feel this way forever, and like stuff like that. But I think it's just very hard when like wounds are triggered, and it's just like at the time, like it kind of just feels like you're at war with yourself, but it's very important to like just take care of yourself, to catch those thoughts. That's what I was saying before I went on a tangent, like to catch those thoughts whilst they're there, and kind of notice like this isn't me talking, this is my brain talking. Like my brain wants to protect me, and that's what it thinks it's doing, but it's not actually doing that, you know. And it's like, thank you so much for trying to protect me, but like this thought isn't serving me right now. Think about something else. Don't think about anything. Oh my god, there's a spider on me. Oh my god. Lol, did you guys see that? Because I didn't see that for ages. How long was that there? Oh, my puppy. Hi, baby. Lol. Oh my god. Am I going to watch this back and be like, there's a spider on me the whole time? Yeah, what was I saying? I can't remember now. Yeah, it's just like, just trying not to get caught up in those thoughts. And it's like, I'm quite lucky that I know how this works, and I've kind of learned about all of this. It's just very difficult to like practice it, you know. But yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, I got 2 pairs of them. Different colours.
Nice. See you in a bit. Oh, hey boy. Well, I actually don't know how to edit this, so that will stay in, lol. But yeah, it's just like, oh, he just fell, my old boy. But yeah, I think it's just like the process of this is like catching yourself in the thought process and like not letting it spiral. Like chat to ChatGPT constantly if you need to, like that's so fine. Like just speak to someone, don't let it weigh on you so heavily, and just know that like you won't feel this way forever, and you can't hate yourself into loving yourself. You know, the only way you're gonna get that is giving yourself grace. And I've realised that I'm awfully hard on myself for someone who has like been through so much shit and has like pulled themselves through it. Like I've been home a week and I'm being so hard on myself. Like yeah, it's just difficult. Like when you feel at the bottom, it's kind of hard to be nice to yourself. But again, it's just catching those thought patterns, either counteracting it or just being like, no, I'm not thinking about this. No, I'm just trying to be present and like realize that like if you've done it before, you can do it again. Like you're never going to be at the bottom forever. But yes, thank you for listening to me cry for 10 minutes of a solution. But yeah, thank you very much, guys. I love you lots and lots, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.